So, welcome to whatever this is. We have screenshotted most of the skills that I wanted to use on Vex into this monstrosity on the screen. And I made a build out of it. I think I came up with something pretty solid. So I thought I'll just showcase it. It's more of a theory craft than anything. Some of these skills might change, hopefully not, because I think I might be cooking. So let's see what we got here. So we're going to start in the, I think it's the incarnate tree, I think. So yeah, in the incarnate tree, we've got most of our points. So we're going to start first with Leeching Attunement for the 10% lifesteal. You do get reload speed as well, and that adds up to 30%, I believe. So 30% reload speed and 10% lifesteal. Perfect start. Then we move on to Bloodletter, which we're getting 5 out of 5 for that as well. Gun and skill critical hits have a chance to apply bleed. And this is the main bit of the build. So, kinetic status effect damage. What I worked out with this is, so obviously we have bleed, and it's considered a status effect. So there's a 25% chance to proc this. I'm not sure whether that's going to go up at all. I don't think it does, because that would make no sense, because that'd be 125%. So 25% chance, and it's 8% per second, and it stacks up to 20. So realistically, it's 160% of gun damage per second, which is already crazy high, like way too high, but I like it. So we're definitely running Bloodletter. And then moving on from there, we're going material components down here, which we're getting 5 out of 5 for as well. Sorry, it is a bit blurry, but this is the best we could do. And then Vex gains increased kinetic damage and kinetic status effect damage. We're getting 30% kinetic damage flat out. This build's going to be focused a lot around Jacob's weapons for the ricochet as well. Kinetic status effect damage as well as 15%. I'm not sure whether that's going to go straight on top of that 160% gun damage per second. I'm not great at maths, so this, I could be going completely wrong here. It depends how multiplicative it is and how it works. But hopefully those two stack quite well together. So going from there, we're going target prescience, which is Vex's gun damage gains critical hit chance against any part of enemies. This is like the bread and butter. So 5 points into this, we get 15% chance. The plan for this build is Jacob's pistol or sniper, let it ricochet to other targets, and hopefully it just bleeds other targets with that 15% chance. So we just go for a crit, and then the gun damage splits. Once it splits off, they all should be bleeding, ideally. And if I can stack that up to 20 as well, then that's perfect. 160% increased damage. Then we got Vex's skill damage, gains crit hit chance against any part of enemies. So for this, the reason for taking this skill basically is if skill damage works with the minions and they're classed as skill damage, or as well as minion damage, even though it is a skill, I think they're also going to have a chance to crit. And we'll see later on as to why we want them to be able to crit for any part of the body. And then we are going 5 for 5 on Mortal Terror as well, which is chance to trigger kill skills when critically hitting enemies. That is very blurry, but there it is. So we get 5% to just basically keep kill skills up. Maybe not all the time, but quite frequently. Okay, a little bit of a weird one in the middle. Just realised, not using any kill skills. Didn't think of that before. Don't know why. So we are taking 5 points out of Mortal Terror, and those are going to get put into Portents of Suffering over here to put that at 5 out of 5. And then we still have 4 points, and those are most likely going to go... Okay, that'll actually allow a kill skill available. So we're going to take 4 points into Grave Fiends. Doesn't really matter. Vexing and minions that deal increased damage. So we're getting 3 stacks out of that. 4 points into it. We're getting 8 times 3 maths, 24% on a kill skill. But we're not taking the mortal terror anymore, so chance to trigger, excuse me, kill skills is disappearing that 5%. Bin that off completely. But yeah, back to the video. And I'd like to keep the kill skills up quite a lot. So that does it for that section. That's the middle section of this tree. And then moving on to the right branch. I don't know how these branches are going to work. I'm assuming you can dip into whichever ones you want. So I'm moving over onto the right branch of this skill. And it's Vexor gains increased skill damage. Perfect. If it works with the minions, then that's another 30% increased skill damage. We also take Essence Leech, which is Vex gains lifesteal, and it's doubled when you have an action skill active. I'm not probably going to keep them up all times, but if I can keep the minions up for a good amount of time at least, then I'm getting 20% lifesteal plus the 10% here, so 30% lifesteal, which is a no-brainer. Should keep you alive. Apparently Borderlands 4 is quite hard, so 30% lifesteal should really cover most of that, or at least a good amount. So that's it for the incarnate tree. I think I'm saying that right. And then moving on to the actual Dead Ringer tree, which we aren't putting a lot into it whatsoever. This is the last points that we got. I'm assuming we're only getting 49 points. Level 1 doesn't get a point. 2, you get 1, and then just keep going. So 49, going off max level being 50. So we go Cold Iron for 5 points as well, which is Vexor and minions gain increased gun damage. And then we go for, I can't even say that, Portents of Suffering. It's blurry. We're going 4 out of 5 because it's our last 4 points, sadly. Which is Vexor and minions gain increased status effect damage. Which 24%. If that 24% stacks on top of the extra ones we have here, which is 15% plus 24, stacks on top to the 160, hopefully. Anyways, again, it's a theory craft. This isn't a set build. This is just something to kind of work towards if you are looking for a fun Vex build to play. Then yeah, that should finish it off. And for the actual skill, we're going to be using Dead Ringer. So we're going to have, most of the time, we're going to be running Spectres instead of the Reapers. Because I think, like, the melee ones, they'll be good, but they're not for what my setup is supposed to be. And the main reason, also cutting back to this down here, which one is it? The Keen Mind. Vex's skill damage gains crit hit chance against any part of enemies. If that works, which is very, very big if that decides to stack with the minions, because they're technically a skill, and they get a chance to crit, then we are looking for a class mod, ideally, to give the heirloom capstone, which is very unlikely, very unlikely. But if there is a way on a class mod to get something like that, then we can run a Jacob's weapon for that as well, allowing for more ricochets, allowing for more bleeds, and allowing for more stacks. So it should be pretty interesting on the dot damage here for bleed builds. But yeah, that's pretty much my setup we've got going, at least for this. It's nothing too crazy, but it did take a while to get some of these screenshots done. And this is the best way I could lay it out, even though it's a little bit of a mess. But yeah, I wanted to make at least another Vex build and at least one Rafa build as well. That's my plan. Going off of the 49 skill points, and this is all I can look at the moment, is just these 2 trees. Since I haven't had a chance to actually play the game, I didn't get to go down and visit since I live in the UK. But yeah, this is it. I'm glad you enjoyed the video. Oh well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a good day.